Hey, what up, guys? And thank you for attending another one of my TED Talks here. Now, thanks for tuning in to the latest YouTube video here, y'all. So, this YouTube video today is about 10,000 miles with the KW-V3 suspension. Now, I know I've harped on the suspension a lot. I've talked about it a lot. That's because I like it a lot. Just a quick recap. KW-V3 means three ways of adjustment, right? So height adjustment, damping, and compression adjustment are all done or able to be done individually without affecting the other. So there is a separate damping and compression adjustment, and then there is a separate height adjustment. So you can adjust all of those things. So that's where the V3 comes into play. I bought the kit from Alfa 9 Supply. I've told you guys about that before. Great folks over there. I installed it myself. There's a whole video on that. But I've put over 10,000 miles now on this suspension. And previously I had H&R springs, which was a great suspension option, don't get me wrong. But the springs just didn't really cut it. They were too low. And as a result, the alignment was kind of off. And not only that, but there just wasn't enough adjustability and handling characteristics that I wanted, because the springs were great, but then obviously the shocks were not really suited for the springs. So, you know, just for everyday highway driving and stuff, springs are great. But when you really want to get into truly dynamic and awesome handling, like top tier handling, you have to get a set of quality coilovers. And honestly, I think KW are some of the best coilovers money can buy, period, for a street car, that is. Anyway, so I wanted to take you guys on a drive, talk a little bit about my experience so far with the KW V3 coilovers on my 2018 Alfa Romeo Giulia Q4 Ti Sport, such a long name, and you know, tell you what I think after 10,000 miles. So I kind of want to start off by saying that my car never came with the dynamic suspension. Had my car come equipped with that, I might feel differently about the KW suspension, or I might have felt differently about upgrading the suspension, because I know on with those cars, it can be a little bit tricky installing springs or switching to coilovers, because then you have to do something with the control module for the active suspension. So those of you with active suspension, KW does offer a solution for that. However, this is really more for those folks that don't have the active suspension option. I'm not gonna lie, European roads, at least here in Germany, are a lot better than American roads. But even when I had the KWs and I was driving around in the US, they handled the urban street environment really well. This feels like it could have been a stock suspension. You know, this feels like the stock suspension on a very sporty car, you know? A tad on the stiff side, lots of feedback and response, and but not too stiff at all. Not too stiff at all. Yeah, sorry for all the traffic, everybody. That's just typical Stuttgart, Germany on the weekend. Everybody's got somewhere to go, something to do. But a lot of people forget that, you know, power is nothing unless you can put that power to the ground in a way that propels the car forward, right? Or around a turn. And, you know, when you have a bunch of power, and this car doesn't have a ton of power, but it's, you know, it's got over 300 horsepower. It's plenty powerful. So when you have a bunch of power and a really well-designed chassis, you need a quality suspension to really get the most out of it. And you know, the biggest thing I noticed when I installed the KWs was how much more lively the car felt, just in every situation. You know, it just felt so much more planted, and I felt more a part of the car than ever before. Granted, I do have them set to the stiffest, pretty much the stiffest setting they can go right now. And because these are the street springs, which are meant for, you know, all kinds of driving, I can set the dampers all the way soft, and the car will feel, it will literally feel like a Cadillac. And then I can go all the way hard or stiff, and it'll feel like, you know, like it does now, like a race car, essentially. You know, because if I was going to go on a very long road trip, I would most likely dial down the suspension a little bit. However, I will say this: when the suspension is set to full stiff, and you have the car fully loaded, so like 5 people in here, 4 or 5 people in here, whatever, along with a trunk full of luggage, the added weight does take away from the jarring vibrations of some of the more uneven surfaces. Because some of these road sections where it does get a little uneven, and I'm going over potholes and different surfaces, they can be a tad jarring, I'm not gonna lie. It's not anything terrible or bad, but when it's just me in here inside the car, it can be a little bit, you know, like I could do with a little bit more comfort, but it's nothing upsetting at all. All right, folks, I'm gonna throw in a manual mode and have a little bit of fun on the drive back. This car accelerates so well. I mean, there's a couple of reasons for that, you know. Obviously, tires and the tune come into play, right? The Squadra tune that I've got. But the suspension is really what's putting everything together. This KW suspension, along with the alignment that I've got, I mean, it just handles so well. Feels so good. Let me see if we can turn around again and do another blast. Yeah, she's tight. She is tight and on point, man. I love this car. I love this car. I mean, I haven't been able to drive her like this for a couple weeks now just because the ground has been covered with snow and ice. And she handled that tremendously because I've got these Pirelli Soto Zeros on her. So I haven't really been able to, you know, open the car up and rip on it the way I've wanted to pretty much until right now, filming this video. So that's been, you know, that's been nice. Yeah. These cars love to be driven too. You know, these Italian cars, they're all about the driving experience. They just beg you to drive them. This thing just sounds so good. I'll probably get a noise complaint though for how loud this, how loud she is. under wide open throttle. These KWs are absolutely amazing. After 10,000 miles, you know, I have absolutely no complaints with this suspension. Not a single thing has gone wrong. I haven't had to readjust anything. I haven't had to retighten anything. I haven't had to do anything to this suspension. I installed it. I had the car aligned, and you know, I've played around with some of the damping and compression settings, but this suspension has literally just rocked steady from day one. And you know, I have absolutely no complaints at all. My only complaint is that I didn't get the suspension sooner, and I didn't just buy this instead of the H&R springs. That's my only complaint. I absolutely love the suspension. This 100% is an upgrade in every single way possible for the Alfa Romeo Giulia. And if it makes you know, the 4-cylinder feel like this, I can only imagine what KWs on the Quadrifoglio would feel like. So listen, thanks for watching. I appreciate you all, those of you who follow me and subscribe. I really do. You make this experience amazing. I don't do this for money. I do it because it's my hobby and I love cars. I love Italian cars and I love Alfa Romeos, and I love the Alfa Romeo Giulia, and I love sharing it with the world. And those of you who either want to buy one of these cars or has one of these cars. So, but it does help. The follows, the likes, the subscriptions. Please leave a comment below. Let me know what you thought about the video, where I can improve, and also let me know what you want to see next. If you have any recommendations or anything that you all want to see that I haven't thought about. So until next time, please drive safe, be safe, and to everyone around the world, have a wonderful and a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I'll see y'all in 2023.